Good morning. Good morning. It's Thursday morning and it's August 4th and it's a wonderful day. I'm so glad that you've joined me here at Living in the Light. I'm Mary Amy and I'm coming live from New York. And anyone who's on board, please write in the chat so we can exchange hellos. Today I'm going to be covering topics like the awakening, solar flares that have been coming upon the Earth. Even NASA is talking about it. And aliens and extraterrestrials visit us. Of course, I'll be doing a visualization and I'll be sharing the healing properties of this black obsidian gemstone. So, how's everyone doing today? Did you write down your dreams this morning? And did you wake up and did you say, what positive thoughts can I have to start my day so it's seamlessly flowing? Because we're here to raise our vibration to a higher frequency. And how do we do that? We do that by unconditional love in our hearts. And we accept ourselves. We look in a mirror and we say, I love myself, I accept myself. I'm accepting you. I'm giving you support because you are an original, authentic being of light. Let's crack open that beautiful glowing light that's in your heart and guide you to your destiny and fulfilling passions and your purpose. Let's make sure that we have our invisible line, our boundary to protect ourselves because we're sacred beings of light. We're multi-dimensional beings of light. And we're together raising our vibration because our vibration matters. The higher our vibration, the more abundance and prosperity that we bring into our lives. And we will find peace and we will accept ourselves, and any of those issues and traumas that you had, you'll get right through. So the awakening, what exactly is the awakening? Well, the awakening I've spoken of, you can have a spiritual awakening, which can be something that sparks a light within you, and maybe it can be through some kind of holistic work that you've done, through meditation, through spending a lot of time in nature, by asking for light to come into your system, and with engaging with divine energies. Any of those, it can happen. And also now it's happening because light is coming upon the earth. So the awakening is you're waking up from sleep because you came into this reality, this realm, and you were shoved right into all of these systems that we believe to be the only reality that exists. You don't even have a chance to consider anything else. So an awakening is expanding your consciousness to another reality. Now, I say we're raising our vibration. We're really raising our vibration just in the form that we are in, and the space that we take up. And so all of us carry a vibration. That's why you attract whatever type of vibration you're sending off. So like attracts like. And as you shift to a higher dimension, you're cracking open, activating your DNA, your cells that have a specific blueprint that you were given when you incarnated on this new earth Gaia, you will become healed. Everything that hurt you, all the pain that you have had throughout your life will be healed. It's not in one step process, but when you awaken. So how are others awakening? There are beings like myself that we've been engaging and we've been working towards healing and spiritual methods for years. And so it's been a process for me. The rest of everyone else, how are they going to awaken? Well, there's light coming upon the earth through the sun. There's solar flares that are coming. We've been receiving many solar flares, and the frequency of the earth is bringing more light. And so as we have more light upon the earth, we are revealing all the darkness. So the negativity, the darkness, and you can see there's definitely a divide between the three-dimensional world, the linear, the matrix, the systems, the government, the healthcare, the history, the education, the religion, and then the 5D. And you can see that. You can see anger coming through in people, a lot of agitation, some hate, some meanness coming through people. And then you can see those that are kind of awakening and realizing this is not what I want. There's a choice. And so they're making a choice to ascend to a higher frequency, a higher vibration, unconditional love for me, unconditional love for you, forgiveness, acceptance, accepting everyone for who they are. We are one. That's why I say a circle of light, oneness. We are able to branch out from what we know is to be true, the reality. We can do that. And how do we do that? We do that by tuning inward and asking ourselves, is this possible? Is this really going on? Does 1 + 1 = 2 anymore? No, it doesn't even equal a number. It equals maybe F, because we are realizing that we're in a corrupt system of lies. And these lies that we were taught about history, about government, about being protected are not true. So we should realize that we have to come together, people. You and I have to come together and protect each other and love each other, because we are in this alone. So as we awaken, we will realize that we don't need all those systems, that we can live in a world of freedom, free will, free energy, kindness, compassion. We don't have to be fighting with each other and have divide. We can together transform, transition, and grow together. Let's unblock and unlock our truest potential. And we do that and we awaken by tuning inward and loving ourselves, accepting ourselves for everything that we have done in our lives. Let's forgive those that we've harmed. And if someone's saying, please forgive me, accept them. And you will realize as you awaken, and you will spark the DNA within your being, you will upgrade to a higher consciousness. And there's no turning back. You can't turn back. As you awaken, you're on this path and you can't turn back. You can't go back into these systems. You will realize that the systems aren't positive. They're not about love. They're about divide. They're about control. They're about mind control and brainwashing. So let's raise up our energy through our 7 chakras and expand our consciousness. Now you will be having some ascension symptoms. You will be having some ascension symptoms as you awaken. And don't be alarmed. It's normal. And what's going to happen is that initially it's probably going to come through physically. So maybe you'll get some headaches. Maybe you will feel your legs vibrating or your arms vibrating, and you will feel it inside. Maybe you'll close your eyes and you will see light coming in. You'll start to receive light codes. You will hear your ears ringing. And as I've said, my right ear was ringing and now my left ear rings. And when my your ear rings. It's like a buzzing inside your ear, and you're receiving an upgrade. Your sleep patterns might change. I tend to wake up right when the sun rises, or 1 a.m. or 4 a.m. And you must rest more when you're awakening and ascending. You must rest more because your body is transitioning from carbon-based to crystalline light body. And as you ascend, your body is going to be needing more sleep, more sunlight, spend more time in the sun. You will be maybe changing your eating patterns. You won't eat as much, or you'll eat more. Maybe you'll change your diet. You'll take certain foods out of it. A lot of artificial food you will not want anymore. You won't want those foods that have all these chemicals in it. And that's just how it's going to go. But it's positive, and we are all ascending. And so these solar flares that have been coming upon the Earth have a direct effect on the Earth's atmosphere, and they're producing high energy particles and rate, and it's affecting humans. It's affecting organic humans, because the more light that comes onto the Earth, the more people become awakened from amnesia that they've been sleeping. We've all been sleeping. Now, it wasn't our choice. This is how it worked out. So they've said, we've heard that there's the great solar flash coming, which means in a second, we will receive a white light, and everyone will ascend at that moment. But what seems to be happening now, and I heard it from another practitioner, that we might right now be going through the great solar flash, and what's happening is it's happening more slowly rather than all at once. So it's gradual, which is better, because then everyone has time to reflect and take in whatever is coming through. Now, this great solar flash and these solar flares will transform humanity's energies to higher vibrational and higher consciousness. So it's about expanding your awareness. Like I say, remember, light on the horizon, good things are coming. I say I look out to the horizon, a sunrise. And when the sun is rising, it's a symbol of new beginnings, a new day, new possibilities. It's positive. And it will break open something within you, because it touches your heart, a sunrise. And for me, it's just a symbol that a difficult situation will improve beyond your vision. So in other words, it just means something good is around the corner. And I'm telling you right now, that's what's happening. So if you're right now having a tough time, we have now learned about increased inflation, and we've learned that we have higher prices for certain I don't even know how to talk about this. We have higher prices for, like, transportation, filling up our car, for what we eat, any expenditures. And so it's affecting us, and it's affecting everyone. And so things might seem more stressful, is what I'm getting at. And what I'm trying to tell you is that good things are coming. A difficult situation will improve. And how I know that is because even NASA is talking about these solar flares that are coming. And we have what's called the Lionsgate portal on August 8th, which is on Monday. So look forward to healing light on Monday and more expanded awareness. The sun returns home in Leo, and the star Sirius rises into the sky, and there's alignment with the earth. So energy flowing between the physical and spiritual realms will happen. So everything is kind of coming together all at once. And it seems like it's taking a long time, like we're watching water boil, but it's really happening pretty quickly. These solar flares started to become apparent in the spring. And now here we are in August, the 4th of August. And it just seems like there's no stopping them. And the evil that's been on the earth came possibly thousands of years ago. And whether or not that's true, and they might have come in the form of extraterrestrials, some kind of AI, artificial intelligence. I hear all kinds of stories. Whether or not they're true or not, I don't know, because what is about me is that I have to see things for myself. And what resonates with me, I must feel it within my being. So I have to know in my heart and my spirit it's true. What I do know is, in this reality, this realm that we're living in, there is evil that has surfaced. There's more darkness and there's more negativity. And it is a spiritual war that we're going through. There are angels, like I speak of, there's angels, and these angels are present, and they're coming from the heavens to earth. Whether or not you see them, they exist. I've told you that there's an archangel right by my side, and there's legions of angels, hundreds of thousands upon millions of angels that are here to protect humanity, and they're coming from the heavens to earth. And they are messengers of God. They're here to protect you. And this spiritual war that we're engaging with is about good and evil. It's about Satan, Lucifer, the devil, demons, versus light, love, angelic, celestial beings of light, and humans. And you must know that this is happening right now. It's apparent that we've been thrust into it, and there is going to be a winner. Now, I believe that physical manifestations are not seen yet, but we already have won. And the light that's coming upon the earth is actually going to shift away all this evil and all this negativity. Now, you might experience this through other beings. You might experience this in your career, in your workplace, out in public, and there might be more hostility and anger with people. And how do you address that? And I've spoken about that. I don't believe that you go up against anger or hate or meanness or even fear by going back with attack. I believe you send light. That's why, and love. I say to you, go to your heart and accept yourself, forgive yourself. Come from a neutral standpoint. If you hear someone going off, or if you are experiencing relationships with angry individuals, I would say, rather than fight with them, that just creates more divide. Accept them. Let's accept each other, and let's send love and light. Now, if you send love and they don't take that love within, you just don't deal with that anymore. You just avoid them, and you're not sending more hurt back, but at least you're not experiencing it. So let's be sure that we are protecting ourselves, like I say, with boundaries, self-love, and we are knowing and remembering that we are sacred beings of light. So these aliens and these extraterrestrials that visit us, how do they visit us? And how has this ever happened? Well, they say that they've had radio contact with them. And I truly know and believe that anything that we see in the news or the press or the newspapers or on television is usually only what they want us to know, or a half-truth, or the tip of the iceberg. So they put out that we did have radio contact, and there was some kind of sounds that came through, and it was a code, there were codes, but it was called the WOW signal, and this was in 1977. And there's been others, and we have more recently seen through our news source that we have experienced UFOs, and UFOs are the acronym for unidentified flying objects. They changed the acronym to UAPs for a while. And way back in 1953, the United States Air Force spoke of cases of UFOs. And in the 1940s, of course, we heard about flying saucers. And we heard about Roswell, the crash at Roswell. And the Air Force determined that none of this was a national threat. Now, was any of these UFOs a national threat? Well, I would have to say no. I would have to say no, they weren't a threat, because they already knew. Our government already knew about UFOs, and in fact, they knew about aliens and extraterrestrials. There are parts of our government that are divided, and some are called white hats and some are called black hats. And there's a secret government. There's black projects. Billions of dollars of taxpayers' money is gone. It goes to black projects. So these UFOs and flying saucers were actually evident in the 1940s and 50s, and even before that. But we were told that it wasn't true. More recently, since 1920, the Pentagon admitted that there was these flying saucers. Now, we have ourselves, our government created what's called black triangles. And they do have advanced technology, and they have been seen, and we are told they don't know what it is, but we do have our own black projects with black triangles that move all different directions. Now, back to the whole theory about extraterrestrials. We can say that they're UFOs, but who's manning the UFO? Are extraterrestrials and aliens. And I say to you that unless I see it, I don't believe it myself. Do I believe I will see this? I believe I will see it eventually. It has to resonate within me. Now, we have all heard about gray aliens, and those were the aliens that we first heard about at the crash in Roswell, New Mexico, and then Area 51 they were taken to, and there was 3 dead bodies and 1 live body. So these are gray aliens. They are humanoid aliens. And humanoid aliens have traits similar to that of human beings, including an upright stance, bipedalism, oppositional thumbs, and facial features. There are other types of aliens. There's many, many types of aliens and extraterrestrials. Now, have they visited us? I believe they have. And I believe that many leaders of this New Earth Gaia are well aware of that. Now, there's some of this actually looks almost like out of a cartoon or unrealistic, right? I mean, these are Palladians. These are, this looks like a reptilian, which is part of the global elite. And they are those that are evil, considered evil. I'm trying to find a picture. So a reptilian is one of those that they call a shapeshifter. And a reptilian, I want to remind you to like and subscribe to my videos because I'm going off on my alien extraterrestrial. So reptilians are said to be shapeshifters, and they can turn into in and out of humanoids or human beings, and they're considered the global elite. They say leaders are reptilians. They say some of these entrepreneurs are reptilians. They say that maybe they are clones or what's that called? Half human, half like a hybrid. So reptilian is supposed to be a really evil alien extraterrestrial. However, I'm finding out that they're saying that the reptilians really aren't the worst. They're like called the draconians are considered the worst. And this AI, this is all allegedly. So have the extraterrestrials and aliens visited us? Are they working in underground tunnels with the government? And are they actually in positions of power? Well, this is falling under this whole spiritual war that we're engaging in. We have the good and the evil. So basically, what is that exactly? That is the most evil entities on the planet or in the galaxies, in this Milky Way. And how did they get here? How did these extraterrestrials get here? Did they get here through a wormhole? Did they get here spontaneously arriving through, are they time travelers through time and space? Can they just, now how do they get here? Now, if you've ascended and you are awakening, you will discover that as you receive light codes, which is one of the ascension symptoms, light codes are energetic patterns that have specific energetic frequencies and encoded with information from higher dimensional sources. When you receive light codes and you're ascending, you will receive something that looks like this in your, when you close your eyes before you sleep or after you sleep, and your body will be vibrating. You'll receive this. Maybe it comes in the form of sacred geometry, and maybe you also will have telepathic messages from extraterrestrials that look like this. You might receive telepathic messages. Now, what does that mean? Are they speaking to you? No, they're not talking to you. They're dropping information into your brain. This sounds far-reaching. Have the extraterrestrials and aliens visited us? Physically, have they manifested physically and visited us? Have they come down in a ship, a mother ship? I've seen online on MUFON, which is for the public to post any UFO sightings, MUFON. I've seen videos of extraterrestrial spaceships traveling around, coming in. So is there mother ships in cloaked in the clouds? We don't know. Unless you've experienced it yourself, that's your reality. So my reality right now is light codes came through telepathically. I received information from different species of beings. Are they a threat to national security? That is the question that we hear. We've been taught through movies, through films, through shows, that extraterrestrial and aliens are evil and they are a threat to us. However, I'm sharing with you that they come in peace. They will not surface and we will not see them fully until all of the evil is taken off the earth. New Earth Gaia. So be aware that if you hear UFOs are coming, you will not be able to engage with UFOs or aliens in a physical manifestation in this realm, this reality, until all of the earth has raised to a higher frequency. Now, is that happening soon? It seems to be speeding up. Time is speeding up. If it feels like you can't keep up with which day it is, then you know time is speeding up. I am paying attention to the dates because I am now doing this show. So how else would extraterrestrials and aliens come through? Could they be time travel? Could they come through in some kind of mechanism? Like they talk about like a machine or a teleport or a Stargate. And there is some technology, allegedly, that you can travel through, like a Stargate. And I know there's a movie even about Stargate. I think there are some indications in films that have been out there. Hi, whoever's joining me, please write in the chat. I know that there are indications in some films of what's called a Stargate, looking glass technology, which was a way of looking into the future or into the past and shifting timelines. So this timeline that we're on, hi, whoever you are, write in the chat. And where are you coming from? I'm Mary, coming from New York. So this timeline that we have been living on, which is low vibrational, is a 3-dimensional timeline. We are ascending through the grand awakening, through an awakening process, because we've come out of a sleeping state and knowing that there's another reality out there. And how do we know that? Because things just don't add up anymore. There's a lot that doesn't make sense, and we scratch our heads, and then it never makes sense. They just layering like all of this one lie on top of another lie. And you will know because it doesn't resonate with you. You say, and then you just kind of are complacent and you let it go. And then the next day, same thing, right? So anyway, we are discovering that we are ascending, whether or not we want to, through an awakening, whether you had an awakening because it was spiritual, through a meditation, through light coming into your being, and maybe it's these solar flares that are coming upon the earth. Apparently, these solar flares are going to take us into the great solar flash. So let's unblock and unlock our truest potential, and we're going to do that by engaging with unconditional love and light in our hearts. And I'm going to remind you that I was speaking about how being an intuitive and an empath, I have abilities, and you too can have these abilities. And how do you do that? It's about tuning into your senses. And you will find that you have a sixth sense within you. And my abilities are going to be different than your abilities. You might have more abilities about hearing beyond the walls of the room, or speaking to other entities or those who have passed. Or maybe you just know things before they're going to happen. You have premonitions in the form of a dream or a vision. You just might have a knowing. So there's what's called clear senses: sight, touch, taste, and smell. Sometimes I find that I will think of someone and I will have a smell. So maybe it will come from a perfume or a food or a drink or something that they actually are engaging with at that moment. And that's one of my clear senses. You might have what's called sight, intuitive sight, a knowing. And so this can transcend space and time. In other words, it doesn't matter if you're with the person, you will know about them. You will know their personality. You will know situations that have happened to them. You might receive information about their future. So that's clairvoyance. So claircognizance is about intuitive knowledge. You'll know about a person's past, present, or future. Now, clairpresence is you sense a presence of entities. You will sense spirits. So if you walk into a house, you might kind of be freaked out. Or you might, without even knowing why, you're not interested in being around a certain person, because that person might have something attached to them, or they might have a spirit that's just with them always. Or you might just feel something scary, and you might have the ability of clairpresence. Now, clairsustenance is an emotional feeling of vibration. You'll have the ability to send words, images, and messages. So that's kind of telepathic. That's like one day my daughter was talking about something, and then I left the room that she was in, and then in front of me I saw it in purple, like it was outlined in purple, a sentence. You might receive that. You might receive information like numbers, symbols. And as you work on this, now how do you get intuitive abilities? Well, you can naturally be born with them, and then you engage with it. So you accept it right off the bat. And so then you build on them. Or you become awakened and you realize that you can tune in. So you might start by closing your eyes. I've said this before, and turn off all electronics, and you want to listen beyond the walls of the room. And as you listen beyond the walls of the room, as far as you can hear, you want to tune into whatever sounds, so that you are finding a stillness within you, and you're realizing that you can hear beyond what you thought. There's just many distractions, frequencies, and they come through with all the electronics. And so it takes time for you to tune things out. Now you can you can imagine a dial in front of you, and you can tune it up high, and then tune it. You can make it like 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest all the way to 10. So what you want to do is you want to close your eyes when you're sitting there in stillness. And if you want to tune up your senses, tune it all the way to 10. So you can start practicing that. That's the next step, is by imagining a dial and tuning your senses. Now, if you feel overwhelmed, like let's say you go out and you realize, oh my gosh, I felt really good before I left my house, but now when I'm out, I'm in this crowd of people, I'm stressed out. It's because your senses are heightened, and it's because you might be empathic, or you might have abilities you didn't realize. So you want to first imagine light around your being to protect you, white light. And then you might want to imagine tuning your senses down. So imagine the dial, tuning it down. You can tune it up, you can tune it down. So as you do this, you will realize that you too have intuitive abilities. Now, clear empathy, when I say I'm empathic, you too might be empathic. And the more that you engage with your love in your heart, and you release negativity within you, you will become more empathic and more patient. You'll be more compassionate. You'll be more kind. And you will be more sensitive. Now, this doesn't come without a little bit of crisis here and there, because we weren't like this to begin with. In other words, we were taught another way of living. We weren't taught to tune into our senses. We were taught to actually ignore our senses. They would say, oh, you're too dramatic, or you're overly emotional. That's actually normal to be emotional. It's normal to feel. So don't tune yourself out. Accept all of you. There is balance. We have to ground ourselves. How do we ground ourselves? We grab our knees. We imagine our feet firmly planted in the earth's surface like a tree. If that doesn't work, be in the present. Here I am in the present. If I'm in the present, oh, here's a gemstone. I'm in the present right now. Like, look around at where you are. If you feel overwhelmed or stressed or imbalanced, if your senses are too much, they're too big, balance yourself. Line up. Have alignment, your thoughts, words, and actions. So our thoughts are very powerful. They carry a vibration. That's why like attracts like. And so our vibration will actually guide us. We have energetic patterns that we've had for a long time, possibly our whole life. And those patterns, we spoke about it the other day, are caused by imprints. So we have imprints, and we have what's called traumatic imprints. And those imprints are formed because there was an emotional reaction to something. So we want to know what our energetic patterns are so that we can break them. And how do we break them? We break them by changing our vibration. We break them by doing different things. And we break them by bringing more light into our lives. So we're living in the light. Like and subscribe. I do want to mention angels again. And angels are beings of light. And there's what's called angelology, where you can study angels. And there is the theological study of angels. So angels are coming from the heavens, and they're here to protect humanity. Let's ask angels to come into our life, these celestial beings. They're immortal. They're beings of light. They're here to protect us. They will lift us up through difficult situations. They can help bring miracles into our lives, divine intervention if we need it. If you feel alone, ask an angel to come into your being, into your light. Surround yourself with angels. Now, this Lion Gate portal that's coming on Monday, be prepared for more light, more love, more prosperity, more divine energies. These celestial beings of light are coming through. And we're asking them to come on to this new Earth Gaia to protect us. So this awakening that we're having is inevitable. It was one of two timelines. And the good timeline, which is the awakening, is happening now. And there were those that were evil beings, entities, aliens, extraterrestrials, AIs, or just evil humans that were preventing this timeline from happening. But there's no stopping it, because miraculously the sun flares are coming upon the earth and they're shifting our reality. So let's accept this awakening. Let's think out of the box. Let's not watch the news. Watch as little television as possible. Turn off your electronics. Be in stillness and accept yourself and others and forgive everyone. Forgive everyone. Let's just send light and love to everyone. Now, I'd like to do, before I go, I'm going to do a visualization, and I will I'll do that right now. So, what is a visualization? It's here. I'm going to just do this like this because we will create vivid mental images in the mind's eye, bringing us positive emotions such as joy, happiness, and hope, blessings. Our intention today is to clear away negative thoughts through a glowing light. Let's realize connecting yourself and your mind, body, spirit to divine light will shed darkness. Your glowing light visualization begins now. I'd like you to find a quiet spot, sit or lay down comfortably. So let's breathe out any old thoughts, any old habits before this moment. Let's let go of negativity, and let's just expand our minds and accept ourselves and live in this present moment. So let's do 3 inhales and exhales and a 12 count together. Now your eyes are closed and we're relaxed. Okay, let's do this together. Okay, now that you've relaxed your body, and your mind and your spirit, I'd like you to just scan it and be sure that you've let go of any tension within you. You might want to tense up and then release, and tense up and then release. So let's bring our awareness to our thoughts. I'd like you to imagine being inside your brain. I'd like you to quiet your mind, have stillness, let go of anything that's bothering you before this moment, and just accept this time of stillness and quiet, and not think about anything else except quiet. Now I'd like you to acknowledge, what thoughts do you select? What do you automatically think about? What can't you stop your mind from going to? Now, are these thoughts positive or are these thoughts negative? Are they helping you? Do you need them? Do you circle back to these same thoughts? And do you feel overwhelmed? So let's let go of these thoughts, because our thoughts create our future, personality, and destiny. And if they're not helping you, then you need to let them go. And we want to create a positive, abundant, filled life of prosperity and hope and goodness and light and just positivity. So let's begin to clear away any negativity so that we can have a pure spirit. So try to open up more space in your mind, in your brain. And let's visualize pushing aside any thoughts that we don't need and just expanding your brain within you. And it's empty now. And so you're releasing these useless thoughts, whether or not you have to say them out loud, whatever they are. That's entirely up to you. So we're going to breathe them out. Breathe out these thoughts. Say them aloud. Now you have empty space. So you're going to replace this space with light. So this light is beaming, it's glistening, it's glowing. It's exciting. It's calm and it's peaceful and it's hope. And you're going to breathe in fresh air and you're going to breathe out the negative thoughts that you're carrying. Now you're going to imagine the biggest hope that you ever could have in this newfound space. You're going to put this exciting, dreamy-like hope that you have in this space. You're going to say, I would like, and you're going to put it in this space. And this space now has light and your new hope, and it's exciting, and it's joyful. So you're going to stay in this moment of hope. Now I'm going to count backwards to 3, and you're going to open your eyes. 3, 2, 1. Thank you for joining us. And I do this because I too need a moment to just have peace and quiet, because I am running as fast as you are. Everything that we do matters, and every decision that we make matters. Remember that. Every decision that we make. Now, as we allow more light and love into our hearts and into our lives and into our being and into our space, we will find that more opportunities come to us. More of what we want will happen. Before we do that, we must engage and we must come to terms with all of our issues. Now, during your awakening process, you will have those ascension symptoms, which are physical, emotional, spiritual, mental. Those that do not complete your life and are on the same trajectory as you will leave your life. Maybe they'll come back. You won't be on the same timeline as them for a while. They might just circle back to you if they too awaken. It doesn't matter what others think or choose. That's their reality. You must find your own reality. When you awaken, you will discover and identify exactly what your purpose is on this new Earth Gaia and what your mission is. And your mission might be more of doing what you're doing. It might be service to others. It might be something that you always dreamed of. Maybe it's something very creative. Maybe you become a writer and more of your passions will surface and you will want to be doing your passion and your purpose more than what you were doing before you awakened. And that's okay. And it's not going to be comfortable. It's not a comfortable road at first because you're going through all these symptoms, ascension symptoms, and then you're going through your issues and you're trying to get further and further along. You'll receive the light codes and it's a process. But when you come to the other side of it, you feel free and you feel more like your truest self. Your personality might even change. You might begin to realize that this is who you were when you were born on this, incarnated on this new Earth Gaia. And you will be a happier, more inspired, vibrant version of your truest self. Now, before we go, I want to share this Black Obsidian Gemstone, which is about spiritual connection. It has healing properties. I remind you, when you have brought some of these gemstones into your life, you want to wash them in warm water and place them outside in the sunlight. And they increase your self-control. They help to come to terms with negativity, and they will ground you if you need to be grounded. Oops. They're a powerful cleanser of psychic smog, and they give psychic protection. So place them in certain locations in your home and they will help you come to terms with negativity. And I can feel that they are very powerful, these gemstones. And why are they healing? Why do they have healing properties? Because they come from the earth. So I'm going to remind you that coming on Monday is the Lion's Gate portal, and so more divine energies will be coming upon the earth. And it's a great access for those of you who've just awakened to bring more light codes into your being. And our DNA activation is in place. Let's work on our stillness and our quiet. This is very beneficial to us. This will help us to bring more abundance and prosperity into our life and more clarity and awareness. And let's expand our consciousness. And we expand our consciousness through spending time in nature, having more compassion, more self-love, and love for others. Because I say we're forming a circle of light. And as we form a circle of light upon this earth, which is oneness, God, it's complete. I have constant love and light, and I'm sharing it with you, constant love and light. And then you share it with someone else, and together we will cover the earth with light. So these solar flares that are coming, be expected that they might affect transmissions, they might affect your electronics, and they're going to definitely affect your being. So you might need more sleep, you might need more water. Definitely spend time in the sun when there's a chance, because it helps activate your cells and bring you to a higher consciousness and vibration. So again, let's unlock and unblock your truest potential. I'm sending you light, and I'm imagining you in this circle of light that I'm spinning right now. And I'm wishing good things for you. And again, I will remind you about angels, and you can ask for angels to come into your life, into your reality. So make a wish. I'm sending you light and love. Be well. I'll be back again tomorrow. Please like and subscribe to my videos. You can always find me on MaryAmyOfficial.com. And I hope you have a wonderful Thursday. And I'll be back again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Be well. Bye.